The world's most expensive 10 companies in 2025, Tesla clocks in at a heartbreaking 11th, TSMC lands at, wait for it, and the top spot boasts a jaw-dropping $11.2 trillion market cap. Let's see how many you already knew. In 2025, the global GDP is projected to soar to a staggering $105 trillion, yet these top 10 corporate titans alone command over $10 trillion in market cap and economic muscle, wielding influence that could make nations blush. These behemoths rake in annual revenues that routinely shatter the $100 billion mark, sometimes blasting past $1 trillion. Oh, the sheer audacity. They don't just sway global job markets and raw material prices, a single one's earnings eclipse the entire yearly GDP of most countries. From tech overlords dominating innovation to oil empires gripping the black gold, and even lone wolves monopolizing niche realms with near 100% global control, it's a lineup of pure, unadulterated power. Today, buckle up and join World of Extreme's top as we dive headfirst into the 10 companies with the highest market caps in 2025. Prepare to be amazed, envious, and maybe a little intimidated. Number 10. Berkshire Hathaway. Oh, what an investment powerhouse. This Berkshire Hathaway, the legendary empire steered by none other than Warren Buffett himself. In 2024, its market cap hummed along at a respectable $984 billion. But hold on to your seats. Just one whirlwind year later, it skyrocketed to an eye-watering $1.06 trillion, etching its name in history as America's very first non-tech behemoth to shatter the $1 trillion barrier. Talk about a triumphant leap that sends ripples through Wall Street. In the hallowed ranks of Fortune's Global 500, it struts as the fifth highest earner among American giants, a true titan of total revenue. And get this, by June 2025, its stock price had soared to a mind-boggling $785,000 per share, smashing global records and leaving jaws on the floor in sheer awe of its unyielding ascent. Now, who hasn't heard the tales of Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, affectionately dubbed the king of the common folk for his legendary frugality and down-to-earth lifestyle that feels like a warm hug amid the glitz of billion-dollar boardrooms? But oh, the hidden depths. Far from a rags-to-riches sob story, Buffett's roots run deep in privilege and power. His father, Howard Homan Buffett, was a sharp-eyed stockbroker and four-term Republican U.S. congressman who founded his own brokerage firm in 1931 and even dared to challenge President Roosevelt's throne in a bold political showdown. And his grandfather, Ernest, a humble yet thriving local grocer whose savvy ways wove the threads of commerce into the family fabric. This illustrious dynasty of politics and business, it planted the seeds of Buffett's razor-sharp investment instincts and financial wizardry, nurturing a legacy that bloomed into pure gold. From his earliest days, young Warren was a pint-sized prodigy of pennies and pounds, snapping up his first stock at just 11 years old, filing his very own tax return at 13 like a mini-mogul, and by 14, wheeling and dealing in a 40-acre plot that spun rental income like a well-oiled machine. In his university years, under his father's guiding wing, Buffett's passion ignited for securities and the art of value investing, a flame that would blaze through his career like a comet's tail. That nose for sniffing out undervalued treasures? It proved to be his secret weapon, time and again, turning whispers of opportunity into roars of fortune in the cutthroat arena of high finance. Of course, value investing doesn't always mean gobbling up megacorporations left and right. Sometimes, it's about those smart, savvy life choices that stretch your dollar deliciously far. Take me, for instance. I recently made a killer high-value pick and snagged a Tesla on Gwazi for just 99,000 yuan, pure steel. Gwazi puts every car through rigorous official inspections and hands over free insurance claim histories, so the condition's crystal clear, no smoke and mirrors here. For EVs, they've even got battery buyback guarantees to sweeten the deal. Buying used? With Gwazi, you're wrapped in worry-free assurance. Berkshire Hathaway's origins? A humble duo of Massachusetts textile mills founded in 1888 and 1889, merging into the Berkshire Hathaway we know in 1955 with dreams of weaving prosperity. Through the first half of the 20th century, it ballooned into a New England textile juggernaut, 14 factories strong, employing over 10,000 souls in a symphony of looms and labor. But alas, the post-war shake-up hit like a storm, profits plunged, 9 plants shuttered their doors, and the company scrambled by liquidating assets to buy back shares in a desperate bid for survival. It was this glaring undervaluation, this diamond in the rough, that caught the eagle eye of a young Warren Buffett, sparking a fire that would redefine an empire. In 1962, Through his freshly minted Buffett Partnership Limited, he pounced, scooping up Berkshire stock en masse at a bargain basement $7.50 per share, while its book value loomed at a plump $20.20, screaming opportunity from every ledger line. By 1965, Buffett had seized the reins, launching Berkshire on a breathtaking metamorphosis from fading fabric maker to a sprawling, diversified investment colossus that would awe the world. At the outset, he didn't torch the textile side entirely, loyalty lingered. But 2 years in, the numbers screamed truth. Net worth had nosedived 64% since 1955, a stark wake-up call that echoed like thunder. Buffett pivoted with the grace of a master, diving headfirst into insurance and a frenzy of acquisitions across realms untold, breathing new life into the beast. The crown jewel, that pulse-pounding 2010 blockbuster, shelling out a whopping $44 billion for the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway, Berkshire's grandest gulp, a railway romance that chugged straight into legend. And since Charlie Munger hopped aboard as vice chairman in 1978, this dynamic duo has sculpted Berkshire's signature blueprint: hunt undervalued gems, hands off the helm for original teams, granting acquisitions the freedom to flourish like wildflowers in spring. Decades of this value-first gospel, executed with monk-like discipline, have forged Berkshire into a bastion of stability and sway, a super enterprise whose steady heartbeat powers dreams across the globe. Number 9, TSMC. The undisputed titan of the silicon world, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, the pioneering force that revolutionized the chip game forever. As the globe's very first dedicated semiconductor foundry and the undisputed king of pure-play wafer fabrication, TSMC commands a staggering 67% to 68% market share with ironclad dominance, while proudly holding the crown as Taiwan's largest corporate powerhouse, a true behemoth whose innovations pulse through every gadget in your hand. As of July 2025, its market cap had rocketed to an awe-inspiring $1.217 trillion, a testament to its unyielding ascent amid the AI frenzy that's rewriting the rules of tech. But don't let today's glittering glory fool you. This empire's humble beginnings were met with skeptical smirks and raised eyebrows all around. Flashback to 1987. At the seasoned age of over 50, Morris Chang, former vice president at Texas Instruments, returned to Taiwan like a visionary on a mission. Backed by government funds and the mighty Philips as his shield, he launched TSMC on the Industrial Technology Research Institute's sturdy platform, daring to bet everything on a radical model: pure foundry work, no pesky design distractions. The industry scoffed. Vertical integration is king, they sneered, dismissing it as a wild detour from the era's sacred path. Yet Chang stood firm, his eyes fixed on the horizon. He knew pure-play wafer foundry was the tidal wave of tomorrow, and boy, did he unleash a tsunami that reshaped an entire industry. Riding the crest of the semiconductor revolution's 5 mighty waves, TSMC shattered the $1 billion annual revenue barrier in just a decade, a blistering sprint that left competitors in the dust. But the true game changer, the spark that ignited its stellar trajectory, that fateful 2011 debut of the 28-nanometer process. Picture this: at a pivotal 2012 dinner banquet humming with high-stakes whispers, Chang sealed a tentative pact with Apple's operations brass. It started modest, just half the iPhone chip orders, but what a gateway it became, blossoming into the deep, unbreakable alliance that would propel TSMC to stratospheric heights. TSMC blazed trails as the world's first to mass-produce 7 nanometers and 5 nanometers wonders, while pioneering the grand-scale rollout of EUV lithography tech that etches miracles onto silicon, pure wizardry. Chang himself, ever the poet, borrowed Shakespeare's timeless tide metaphor to hail the 28-nanometers breakthrough as the pivotal pivot, the make-or-break moment that hurled TSMC onto the global stage with thunderous applause. In a twist worthy of legend, he retired at 74, only to roar back at 78, fueled by sheer grit and destiny, to clinch those game-changing Apple negotiations. Talk about an encore that echoed through boardrooms worldwide. Fast forward to 2024, TSMC's full-year revenue soared to a record $2.89 trillion new Taiwan dollars, roughly $90 billion, with a jaw-dropping net profit of $36.5 billion, a symphony of success orchestrated by relentless innovation. And the rocket fuel? The explosive dawn of the AI era. Diving into 2025's first 5 months, revenues blasted to $1.509 trillion new Taiwan dollars, a heart-pounding 42.6% surge year-over-year, with April alone leaping 48% from the prior year and 22% month-on-month, growth rates that make even the boldest tech titans green with envy. This blistering pace, a rarity in the global tech arena, owes its fire to the AI chip supernova, demanding ever smaller, ever smarter silicon brains. Analysts are buzzing with optimism. AI chip revenues are forecasted to hit $26 billion in 2025, ballooning to $46 billion by 2027 and a mind-blowing $90 billion by 2029, a trajectory that's not just heating up the foundry market but cementing TSMC's throne in high-end processes like an unbreakable fortress. As the trailblazing frontrunner in cutting-edge tech, TSMC charges ahead from 5 nanometers and 3 nanometers straight into the 2 nanometers frontier. Get ready. The Hsinchu Baoshan fab and Kaohsiung plants are gearing up for sequential rollouts over the next 2 years, diving into 2 nanometers mass production and yawning wider the chasm with rivals, ensuring their lead stretches like the horizon itself. In essence, today's TSMC isn't just the beating heart of the global tech supply chain, it's Taiwan's unassailable shield, a geopolitical and industrial linchpin whose irreplaceable role turns heads in the grand chessboard of world powers. And founder Morris Chang, a living legend draped in accolades, from the IEEE Robert N. Noyce Medal and National Academy of Engineering Fellowship to, starting in 2024, the crown jewel of Taiwan's honors, the Order of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, rewards as profound as the empire he built, a beacon of brilliance that will inspire for generations. Number 8. Broadcom. The stealthy overlord of global networking chips and enterprise IT infrastructure, a shadowy giant pulling strings from the data center depths to your Wi-Fi router. This powerhouse grips the throne in critical realms like data center switches, Wi-Fi chips, and storage controllers, commanding the #1 spot worldwide with an ironclad grip that keeps the digital world humming. As one of the planet's most profit-guzzling semiconductor titans, Broadcom has sent shockwaves through the tech universe in 2025 with its blistering growth spurt, pure adrenaline-fueled ascent that leaves rivals choking on silicon dust. Its market cap, a meteoric vault from about $760 billion in June 2024 to a staggering $1.29 trillion in just one breathless year, a jaw-dropping surge of over 1.5 times, rewriting the rules of valuation in a frenzy of investor euphoria. But what sorcery sparked this explosive windfall, you ask? Cue the Q1 fiscal 2025 earnings bombshell. AI-specific chip revenues exploded to a heart-pounding $4.1 billion, skyrocketing 77% year-over-year and catapulting the stock skyward by more than 10% in a single triumphant bound. Talk about AI alchemy turning code into gold. And hold your breath. This is the real head-turner. Within Broadcom's semiconductor coffers, AI-fueled ventures now claim a commanding half the kingdom, a seismic leap far beyond last year's slice of the pie, proving this isn't just hype, it's a tidal wave reshaping fortunes. The secret sauce? Ironclad, deep dive pacts with hyperscale behemoths like Google, Meta, and ByteDance, titans of the cloud whose appetites for innovation know no bounds. Analysts are buzzing. Over the next 2 years, AI ops could funnel a luscious $60 to $90 billion in revenue straight into Broadcom's vaults, a glittering promise of endless bounty. Unlike Nvidia's versatile, programmable GPUs that flex for the masses, Broadcom's bespoke ASICs are laser-focused artisans, crafting hyper-efficient, low-power masterpieces tailored for pinpoint AI scenarios, elegant solutions that sip power while unleashing computational fury. This strategic symphony of complements, it catapults Broadcom to the forefront of the AI deluge, not just sipping from the cup but owning the vineyard, carving an irreplaceable niche in foundational AI hardware that echoes through eternity. Yet, beneath this trillion-dollar throne lies a rags-to-riches saga few whisper about, a humble spark from the embers of obscurity. Broadcom's bloodline traces back to a forgotten corner of Hewlett-Packard's empire, a scrappy offshoot clawing for survival in the wilds of innovation. Rewind to 1991. UCLA professor Henry Samueli and his star PhD student Henry Nicholas ignited the flame in a cramped student dorm, armed with a paltry $5,000 seed, pocket change that fueled dreams bigger than the stars. They commandeered the campus lab as their clandestine forge, birthing the first-generation chip designs amid nail-biting cash crunches and midnight oil, pure grit wrapped in genius. Then, 1999's dot-com apocalypse struck like a thunderbolt. Broadcom, like so many tech darlings, teetered on oblivion's edge. Market cap cratered to single-digit despair, racking up over $6.5 billion in crimson losses, slashing more than 500 souls in a brutal cull, and staring bankruptcy square in the face. Oh, the agony of ambition's cruel twist. But legends don't drown, they resurface fiercer. In 2003, Broadcom struck gold with the world's first 802.11b single-chip wireless LAN card, a game-changer that stormed consumer electronics like a digital crusade. And as exclusive supplier for Nintendo's console wireless modules, that golden ticket yanked the company from the brink, flipping red ink to roaring profits in a phoenix-like rebirth. The plot thickened in 2016, a historic pivot that rewrote destinies. Singapore-based Avago Technologies swooped in with a $37 billion thunderclap, acquiring Broadcom and adopting its storied banner, fusing tech arsenals and client empires in a merger of titans that ignited an era of voracious expansion. From there, it was a blitzkrieg of blockbuster buys or lightning strikes that redrew the map. 2017, snatching Brocade Communication Systems to fortify networking fortresses. 2018, devouring CA Technologies to conquer enterprise software realms. And the crown jewel in 2023, a colossal $69 billion gobble of virtualization virtuoso VMware, a mega move that ballooned the tech empire across networks, services, and clouds, vaulting Broadcom from mere chip slinger to AI infrastructure colossus. This relentless acquisition odyssey, it sprawled Broadcom's dominion, weaving vertical mastery from comms chips to cloud crowns. From a modest $40 billion market cap in 2015 to shattering $1.175 trillion by 2025, a blistering 30-fold odyssey in a decade, a saga of splendor that gleams like a semiconductor supernova, forever etching its roar across the tech horizon. Number 7, Saudi Aramco. Oh, the colossal heartbeat of the global energy realm. This behemoth wielding the world's second-largest proven crude oil reserves, a staggering treasure exceeding 270 billion barrels that could fuel empires for generations. What a titan, commanding the stage with unshakable authority in the oil and gas symphony. Picture the sheer scale. It stewards over 100 oil and gas fields across Saudi Arabia's sun-baked expanse, including the legendary Ghawra, the globe's mightiest onshore oil field, and the oceanic marvel of Safania, the largest offshore behemoth, pumping black gold from depths that whisper ancient secrets. And the stakes? Saudi Arabia's government draws a breathtaking 70% of its fiscal lifeblood straight from this energy juggernaut, a vital artery pulsing with prosperity and power that shapes destinies from Riyadh to the remotest corners of the kingdom. Rewind to 2019, and the world gasped in unison as Aramco's IPO shattered barriers, catapulting its market cap beyond the dizzying $2 trillion threshold in a blaze of glory that rattled capital markets like an earthquake, pure, exhilarating dominance on display. Though by 2025, a gentle ebb in fortune saw it settle at a still formidable $1.598 trillion, resilient as ever, a colossus undimmed amid the tempests of trade and geopolitics. Yet, zoom into 2024, and the numbers roar with triumph. Aramco's total oil output surged to a jaw-dropping 12.7 million barrels of oil equivalent per day, the unrivaled daily champion among all global producers, leaving titans like ExxonMobil and Shell trailing in its thunderous wake, a testament to engineering wizardry and resource mastery that defies the ordinary. In 1933, the Saudi government inked a bold concession pact with California Standard Oil Company, birthing the California Arabian Standard Oil Company, the embryonic spark of what would become Aramco, a fledgling dream buried under whispers of desert legend. Back then, the riches slumbering beneath that scorching veil, mere myths to chase, the company poured fortunes into geological quests, enduring early heartaches of barren drills, until 1938's triumphant gusher at Dammam No. 7 in the eastern Dammam field ignited commercial triumph, a blazing beacon that kindled Saudi's energy dawn and unleashed a torrent of national wealth like a genie's fury. From there, the discoveries cascaded like stars aligning. World-class leviathans like the Bukake and Abqaiq fields emerged, rewriting maps and fortunes in strokes of seismic splendor. To amplify tech prowess and capital might, Chevron looped in Texaco in 1936, followed by Exxon and Mobil's grand entry in 1948, forging a formidable quartet of American oil overlords in a joint reign of exploration and extraction. Aramco's nerve center once thrummed in San Francisco's fog-shrouded streets, its veins coursing with Yankee management flair. Yet on the scales of wealth and sovereignty, Saudi's awakening stirred like a desert storm. From 1972, the kingdom began staking its claim, inching into ownership with determined grace, culminating in 1980's full nationalization, a seismic declaration of absolute dominion over its subterranean treasures, a proud reclaiming that echoed through history's halls. Then, in 1988, the Saudi Arabian oil company rose phoenix-like, swallowing Aramco's vast empire whole. Thus Saudi Aramco was christened, its name a clarion call thundering across the globe. With upstream mastery secured, Aramco didn't rest on laurels, it charged downstream like a conqueror, weaving refineries and chemical citadels worldwide to forge an unbreakable chain. From Saudi's soil sprang the planet's grandest integrated petrochemical haven, a marvel of molecular magic. And beyond, joint ventures bloomed in China, India, Korea, and the US, refining alliances that amplify its global sway, turning crude into commerce with relentless, radiant reach. Number 6. Meta. The unrivaled colossus of social connectivity and multimedia tech, the world's grandest social network and all-encompassing media empire. Under its vast umbrella, Meta's platforms boast a breathtaking combined daily active user base of 3.3 billion souls. Imagine that, out of every 2 people on this spinning blue marble, one is immersed in Meta's magical web of wonder. From a lofty perch of about $910 billion at the close of 2023, its market cap has erupted in less than a year and a half to a dazzling $1.807 trillion, a blistering surge exceeding 80%, a rocket-fueled ascent that doesn't just move the needle, it shatters the dial. This isn't mere arithmetic, it's a triumphant banner waving over global digital socializing and immersive tech supremacy, a digital dominion that pulses with the heartbeat of humanity. And here's the delicious irony that tickles the soul. This trailblazing behemoth, the very architect of internet evolution, owes its visionary spark to Mark Zuckerberg, a Harvard dropout who barely survived a single semester before fate yanked him toward destiny's wilder path. But destiny has a poetic flair. In 2017, Harvard, ever gracious, bestowed upon this classroom escapee an honorary Doctor of Laws degree, a shimmering capstone that symbolically sealed his unfinished scholarly saga with elegant closure, honoring the global titan who slipped through their ivy-clad gates. Whisk back to February 4, 2004, in the cozy confines of his Harvard dorm, Zuckerberg flipped the switch on a little website dubbed Facebook, a humble launch that would soon roar into legend. Yet the seeds planted even earlier, back in 2002 upon his high school graduation from the illustrious Phillips Exeter Academy, where a quirky gem called the Photo Address Book ignited his imagination. This was no ordinary directory, it was a vibrant student-crafted social blueprint, brimming with snapshots, class details, hobbies, and quirks, all stitched together for effortless camaraderie and chatter among peers. Facebook's very name and ethos, a loving nod to that academy tradition, the Facebook essence, centering photos as portals to personal stories, transforming real-world campus bonds into a digital tapestry that sowed the seeds of the social media revolution, blooming into an unstoppable force. Post-launch, Facebook ignited like wildfire across Harvard's hallowed halls, and Zuckerberg wasted no time rallying his inner circle, roommate Dustin Moskowitz, plus Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCallum, and Chris Hughes, a dream team of youthful firebrands. Their sights set next on Ivy League icons like Stanford, Columbia, and Yale, expanding the empire one elite enclave at a time with magnetic momentum. Before long, Facebook wasn't just a site, it was the pulse of young world socializing, a cultural phenomenon that redefined connection forever. That same whirlwind year, Moskowitz stepped up as official CTO, and the crew bid adieu to East Coast winters, transplanting their burgeoning dream to Silicon Valley's sun-kissed Palo Alto, a bold pivot that unfurled the sails for a global networking revolution on an epic scale. Then, in 2021, the plot twisted with visionary audacity. Facebook rebranded to Meta, a clarion call heralding a full-throttle pivot to the metaverse, that enchanting realm of virtual immersion where realities blur and dreams take flight. From the groundbreaking Quest VR lineup to crafting immersive Horizon Worlds realms, and weaving AI deeply into smart assistants and graphics engines, Meta dreams big, a seamless utopia bridging human hearts, minds, and machines in effortless harmony. Zuckerberg himself, the living emblem of this tech renaissance, a pioneer whose gaze pierces the horizon. In 2014, at just 30, he stormed into history with a $35.2 billion fortune, clinching the youngest ever spot in the global top 10 richest ranks, a prodigy crowned in gold. By 2016, that empire swelled to $51.6 billion, shattering barriers anew as the youngest to crack the top 5, a meteoric milestone that left the world breathless. Today, he remains Meta's unyielding captain, steering this juggernaut into the thrilling deeps of Web 3.0 and artificial intelligence, boldly charting courses where innovation meets infinity, forever reshaping how we live, love, and link across the stars. Number 5. Google. The indomitable search sovereign, where Google search reigns supreme as the internet's grandest, most far-reaching engine of discovery. Every single day, it devours over 13.7 billion queries from every corner of the globe, a relentless torrent of curiosity that powers our connected world, turning whispers of wonder into waves of knowledge. This tech colossus, Alphabet's beating heart soared to a breathtaking $2.36 trillion market cap by the close of 2024, a pinnacle of prowess amid the digital deluge. Even through the wild tempests of 2025's tech stock turbulence, it stands unbowed at global fifth place, commanding a robust $2.18 trillion valuation that echoes its enduring empire. Yet Google's legendary genesis, far from the spotlight's glare, a humble spark in the forge of academia. Flashback to 1995 at Stanford University, two fiery PhD prodigies, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, crossed paths for the first time, their clashing worldviews igniting epic debates that crackled like lightning, opposites in intellect, bound for brilliance. But oh, what magic brewed from that stormy friction. Recognizing their perfect puzzle piece synergy, they forged an alliance, hunkering down in a cramped dorm to craft a revolutionary search engine prototype. They dubbed it Backrub, crude in cradle, yet cradling a disruptive core that would upend everything, an algorithm dissecting the intricate web of page links to divine true importance, birthing the legendary PageRank that ranked the unrankable. By 1997, they rechristened their brainchild Google, a playful twist on the mathematical marvel Google, that whimsical one followed by 100 zeros, a nod to taming the internet's chaotic, colossal info deluge. That September 15th, the Google.com domain locked in, etched forever as the true dawn of this search saga's seismic empire. Then, 1998 delivered an unlikely guardian angel. Sun Microsystems co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim, utterly captivated by their demo in mere minutes, dashed off a $100,000 check on the spot, despite Google not even being incorporated yet. Talk about serendipity's thunderbolt. That audacious check lit a fire under them, compelling a frantic 2-week scramble to formalize the company and relocate to Susan Wojcicki's modest Menlo Park garage in California. $1,700 monthly rent for a space that would soon symbolize Silicon Valley's sacred startup soil. Fast forward to August 19, 2004, Google burst onto the public stage, unleashing 19.6 million shares at $85 apiece in a triumphant IPO that vaulted its market cap to a dazzling $23 billion overnight, a launchpad to the stars, not the summit. And just 2 years hence, they swooped in with a savvy $1.65 billion to claim the fledgling YouTube, that scrappy video upstart. Today, the undisputed monarch of global video realms, a crown jewel acquisition hailed as one of the 21st century's shrewdest tech triumphs, blooming into billions of views and viral victories. Now, in this golden gateway of Google's saga, a fresh frontier gleams, the white-hot arena of artificial intelligence, where Google charges undaunted. Its powerhouse AI behemoth, Gemini 2.5, weaves seamlessly into search fabrics, enchanting over 1.5 billion monthly active users with intelligent insights that feel like mind-reading magic, elevating every query to epiphany. The parent powerhouse, in Q1 2025, it roared a bold pledge, a whopping $75 billion infusion into AI's wild frontiers, fueling dreams of tomorrow with unbridled ambition. DeepMind, that visionary vanguard, surges ahead on quantum quests. The Willow quantum chip prototype, unveiled in a blaze of breakthrough, slashed errors in scaling like never before, sparking a 25% stock surge in a single electrifying day, a quantum leap that quakes the cosmos of computation. And in the bastions of security and cloud supremacy, victory bells toll. Google's masterstroke acquisition of Wiz, the cloud sentinel extraordinaire, fortifies its arsenal in enterprise realms, plugging vital gaps in the fierce fray against Amazon's AWS and Microsoft's Azure, weaving a web of unbreakable defenses that shields the skies of data. Number 4. The Amazon, the unstoppable juggernaut of the digital age, the globe's unrivaled e-commerce titan that's not just the world's largest online retailer and bustling marketplace, but a symphony of innovation. From leading the charge in smart speakers with Echo's enchanting voice to powering the clouds with AWS's world-beating services, and gripping the live-streaming pulse through Twitch's vibrant streams, Amazon weaves it all with masterful flair. And in the grand ledger of internet empires, measured by revenue and market share, it holds a throne that's as steady as it is soaring, a beacon of boundless ambition. But who could dream that this roaring behemoth once whispered its first breaths in the humblest of garages, a spark of audacity against the ordinary? Rewind to July 5, 1994, Jeff Bezos, Wall Street's golden boy, boldly quit his cushy high-salary gig, packed up from New York's glittering chaos, and trekked to Seattle's misty outskirts, Bellevue, to be precise, to birth an online bookstore humbly named Cadabra. But fate chuckled at the near miss with Abracadabra, prompting a swift rename to Amazon, a poetic salute to Earth's mightiest river and Bezos's fiery vow to forge the planet's grandest store, a waterway of wonders for all. His Seattle stake, pure prophetic genius, not only did it tap the tech talent fountain from Microsoft and the University of Washington, but it slyly sidestepped sales tax woes while cozying up to Oregon's book warehouses for seamless logistics, a chess move that set the board for empire building. That fledgling dream's headquarters? A cozy corner of Bezos's own garage, a makeshift magic factory buzzing with possibility amid the scent of fresh ambition. By May 1997, the IPO ignited like a flare, rocketing funds for explosive growth, and by 1998, the horizons expanded. No longer chained to tomes alone, Amazon dove into music, videos, and images, snapping up online booksellers in the UK and Germany to unfurl its wings across borders, kicking off a globalization gallop that knew no pause. Post-1999, the floodgates burst, categories cascaded like a digital deluge: video games, gadgets, home goods, software, toys, and beyond. From that tiny bookshelf seed, it blossomed into the ultimate everything store, a cornucopia captivating the world with endless delight. Then, 2002 dawned AWS, a quiet whisper at first, offering devs simple traffic tools and open APIs. But the true thunderclap? 2006 S3 storage debut, letting businesses rent cloud space like never before, a revolutionary rent-a-rack that rewrote the rules. 2 years on, EC2's elastic computing joined the fray, crowning AWS as Amazon's turbocharged second engine, a powerhouse propelling profits to the stars. Today, AWS roars with annual revenues blasting past $107.6 billion, claiming a commanding slice, over a third, really, of the global cloud throne, a misty kingdom where data dances free. On July 5, 2021, 27 years to the day, Bezos passed the CEO baton to AWS trailblazer Andy Jassy, a pivotal pivot etching Amazon's evolution into a tech platform powerhouse, blending retail wizardry with silicon sorcery. By year's end 2024, Amazon's symphony swelled to $638 billion in revenue, a vibrant 11% leap, with net profit soaring to $59.2 billion, a roaring testament to its profit alchemy that turns clicks into cascades of cash. As of July 2025, its market cap had surged to a breathtaking $2.371 trillion, locking in its perch among the world's corporate constellations, a stellar rise that dazzles investors and dreamers alike. And anchoring this empire, the irresistible allure of Amazon Prime, that loyalty elixir binding hearts and carts. By 2024, its global flock topped 200 million devoted souls, with US Legion swelling to 180 million, blanketing over 80% of American homes in a blanket of perks and privileges. Prime subscription symphony, a harmonious $44.38 billion in 2024 revenues, up a spry 10%, crafting a fortress of sticky, superfans who return like clockwork, fueling the flywheel of fun and fortune. From those garage-bound books to dominating retail realms, cloud conquests, and content cascades, Amazon isn't merely a company, it's a whirlwind revolution reshaping how we shop, connect, and conquer daily life. And all in a mere 30 years? A saga of sheer, exhilarating genius that leaves us all forever changed, forever clicking. Number 3. Apple. The eternal innovator, the trailblazing trailblazer that etched its name in eternity as the world's very first company to shatter the $1 trillion market cap barrier back in 2018. From 2011 through 2024, it clung fiercely to the global crown of market value supremacy, a throne of triumph that whispers of unyielding excellence and visionary grit. This tech symphony isn't just the planet's revenue-reigning manufacturing maestro, it's the fourth highest per unit sales wizard among personal computer purveyors, the unchallenged overlord of tablet realms, and the undisputed smartphone sovereign, shipping wonders that light up lives across the globe. Apple's tendrils of influence, they stretch like a digital aurora, from sleek computers and revolutionary phones to life-saving watches, all woven through masterful operating systems and a constellation of services that bind souls in seamless harmony. At its core, a closed-loop ecosystem of magnetic allure, a velvet trap of high-stickiness magic that turns users into lifelong devotees, lost in its elegant embrace. Kicking off 2025 with a bang, global iPhone active installs soared past 1.46 billion devoted devices, while the grand total of humming Apple gadgets eclipsed 2.35 billion, a constellation of connectivity that outshines the stars. And by July 2025, its market cap had ballooned to a breathtaking $3.189 trillion, a celestial summit that cements its reign among corporate constellations. But to speak of Apple is to summon the spirit of one man, Steve Jobs, the audacious architect whose fire forged a legend from the embers of dreams. In 1976, at the tender age of 21, Jobs teamed with his kindred spark, Steve Wozniak, in a sun-drenched California Cupertino garage, the birthplace of Apple Computer Company. Their inaugural offering? The humble Apple I, little more than a bare motherboard sans screen, keyboard, or power supply, yet this raw whisper cracked open the dawn of the personal computing era, a revolutionary ray piercing the veil of possibility. Hot on its heels, the Apple II erupted into icon status, catapulting Apple to Silicon Valley stardom as one of its earliest breakout success stories, a whirlwind of innovation that danced through homes and hearts. Yet glory's glow often casts long shadows. In 1985, amid a maelstrom of internal power clashes, the board exiled Jobs in a bitter betrayal that stung like exile from Eden. The decade that followed, a harrowing descent, product lines tangled in chaos, innovation starved, losses mounting like storm clouds, plunging Apple into the abyss. By 1997, shares cratered below $1, teetering on bankruptcy's brink. Whispers swirled of analysts urging a desperate sale to Microsoft. Oh, the despair of a dream deferred. But in humanity's grandest tales, darkness births dawn. In that nadir of night, Jobs was beckoned back, igniting the resurrection myth that would rewrite history with strokes of genius. Upon his prodigal return, he wielded the axe with surgical precision, slashing over 80% of the bloated product lines, streamlining the soul of the company. Then came the iMac in 1998, a candy-colored revelation that redefined computing's aesthetic poetry, blending form and function in translucent triumph. 2001 birthed the iPod, a pocket-sized sorcerer that shattered the music world's chains, turning melodies into mobile magic. 2007, the epochal iPhone stormed the stage, a sleek oracle that transformed humanity's tango with technology, touchscreens and apps, awakening a new era of intuition. 2010 unveiled the iPad, unfurling the tablet renaissance like a digital scroll, reshaping how we read, create, and connect. And the cascade continued. Apple Watch and AirPods leaped forth, catapulting wearables to euphoric new peaks, adorning wrists and ears with health's watchful eye and audio's whisper. Today, in Jobs' stead stands Tim Cook, hailed as the maestro of margins, the CEO who conjures cash like alchemy. Lacking Jobs' obsessive artist's fire, he wields the steady sword of supply chain sorcery and global orchestration, sculpting Apple into one of history's mightiest moneymakers. In 2024 alone, Apple's net profits thundered to $93.7 billion, a daily deluge exceeding $256 million, a fiscal fireworks display that leaves jaws agape in awestruck admiration. Under his vigilant voyage, Apple's empire sprawls ever outward, infusing fresh vigor into the brand's boundless blueprint. In 2025, Apple doesn't just lord over hardware heavens, its services symphony surges as the second growth crescendo. With over 1.46 billion iPhones in active orbit, 2.35 billion devices pulsing worldwide, Apple Pay cradling over 785 million users in seamless swipes, and Apple TV Plus storming the streaming summit, its original gem Severance swept a record-breaking array of 2025 awards, from Emmys to Peabody nods, a thriller tapestry that ensnares souls and snags statuettes. These triumphs, they etch in stone Apple's triumphant transmutation from hardware forge to ecosystem enchantress, a metamorphosis as mesmerizing as it is masterful. And worth a reverent whisper, Apple's veil of secrecy endures, a fortress of feints with decoy projects sowing delicious disinformation, transforming mystery into its very DNA, a brand allure that tantalizes like forbidden fruit. Number 2, Microsoft. Oh, the unparalleled software sovereign and the crown jewel of listed enterprises worldwide, a relentless vanguard of the AI revolution while reigning supreme as a cloud computing colossus and gaming galaxy unto itself. This tech titan doesn't just innovate, it ignites eras, blending code and creativity into empires that span screens and skies. As of July 2025, Microsoft's market cap had thundered to a breathtaking $3.707 trillion, a stratospheric summit that cements its status as a financial force of nature, outpacing rivals in a symphony of silicon supremacy. It all ignited in 1975, a spark in the desert. Bill Gates, that visionary firebrand, joined forces with his boyhood comrade Paul Allen in the sun-scorched sands of New Mexico to birth Microsoft, the dawn of a digital dynasty. Their inaugural triumph, licensing their self-forged basic interpreter to the Altair 8800, the globe's first commercially victorious personal computer, a bold gambit in an age when hardware hulks ruled the roost. But Microsoft, they charted a defiant course. Software alone, hardware be damned. Oh, what audacious alchemy! That choice propelled them through the 80s like a comet, surging amid IBM PC standardization storm. In 1981, Destiny sealed the pact, Microsoft inked a landmark deal with IBM to furnish its PC with an operating system, the legendary MS-DOS, a quiet revolution that would soon roar. Seizing the momentum, they unveiled graphical interface wizardry with Windows, shattering the barriers of personal computing forever. transforming clunky commands into intuitive dances that democratized tech for the masses. By the mid-90s, Windows had woven itself into the fabric of global PCs, an unassailable monopoly that turned every desktop into Microsoft's domain, a fortress of functionality few could breach. Yet behind this glittering ascent, a hidden gem of serendipity, a tale as cinematic as a Spielberg script. Picture 1980, amid the roar of a football game. Bill Gates crossed paths with David Marquardt, his future boardroom ally. In a moment of electric inspiration, Gates unfurled a technical blueprint like a prophet's scroll, painting vivid visions of computing's tomorrow, trends that would reshape reality. Marquardt, utterly enchanted by this sage's foresight, stepped up as Microsoft's very first outside investor, a pivotal infusion that fortified the fledgling firm's finances and fueled its fearless expansion, turning whispers of potential into waves of worldwide wonder. Into the late 90s, Microsoft's arsenal conquered, Word and Excel eclipsed Lotus Legends, the Office suite storming office realms like an unstoppable armada, and Windows 95 XP, blockbuster beacons that catapulted Microsoft to the zenith of tech's pantheon, icons etched in pixels and memory. But oh, the tides of time. As the mid-2000s unleashed the internet inferno and mobile marvels, Microsoft faced fresh tempests, stumbles in the smartphone sprint post-iPhone launch, battles lost but lessons learned in the fires of adaptation. Yet surrender? Never. Innovation pulsed eternal in their veins. Enter 2014, Satya Nadella ascended as CEO, a transformative tempest who slashed through the old guard, pivoting from legacy software sales to the exhilarating frontiers of cloud sovereignty, subscription sorcery, and audacious R&D, a reinvention as radical as it was rewarding. And what truly reignited the world's awe? Microsoft's ferocious foray into AI and gaming, a dual-pronged assault of ambition and action that redefined dominance. In 2019, Microsoft shattered the $1 trillion barrier for the first time, a milestone etched in earnings euphoria. By 2021, it vaulted past $2 trillion, a blistering bound that left breath held in boardrooms worldwide. Then, 2022's thunderclap, for a staggering $68.7 billion, the grandest gaming gobble in history, Microsoft sealed the Activision Blizzard saga, a merger of titans that fused Xbox's ecosystem with Call of Duty's Call to Arms, Diablo's Dark Depths, and Overwatch's heroic hordes. Through Game Pass's cloud streaming sorcery and Activision's blockbuster IPs, Microsoft emerged as gaming's unignorable overlord, a playground powerhouse where pixels pulse with endless possibility. Simultaneously, as Ares Alpha and Omega, Microsoft forged an unbreakable bond with OpenAI, pouring tens of billions, over $13 billion strong, into the forge of frontier models, supercharging the GPT lineage from Spark to Supernova. Embedding Copilot's clever core into Office's timeless toolkit, a masterstroke that breathes intelligent life into everyday tasks, elevating spreadsheets and scripts to symphonies of smarts. In the AI arena, Microsoft doesn't trail, it trails the blaze, dictating doctrines and architecting ecosystems that promise to propel humanity into horizons unseen, a legacy of leadership that gleams eternal. Number 1, NVIDIA. The blazing supernova of silicon supremacy, a force so potent that back in June 2024, it audaciously eclipsed Apple and Microsoft to claim the throne as America's most valuable company, a crown forged in the fires of AI ambition. Yet, in the wild January 2025 maelstrom, amid a ferocious surge of rivals shaking the foundations, NVIDIA endured a heart-stopping single-day cataclysm, its market cap evaporating a staggering nearly $600 billion in a blink, sending shockwaves rippling through global markets like an earthquake in the exchange. But hold your breath, for in mere months, this resilient titan roared back with unyielding ferocity and ironclad industry dominance, its valuation rebounding to a jaw-dropping $3.885 trillion, a phoenix rising from the ashes, more radiant than ever. From a scrappy startup once dismissed by venture capitalists as a near-impossible dream, odds hovering at zilch, to the unbreakable nucleus of accelerated computing for artificial intelligence, NVIDIA's saga is nothing short of legendary, a testament to visionaries who dared to dream in parallel. Whisk back to 1993, American-born visionary Jensen Huang, alongside Chris Malachowski and Curtis Priam, sealed their entrepreneurial pact over a humble breakfast at a Denny's in San Jose, sparking NVIDIA into life. The name? A poetic nod to NVIDIA, Latin for envy, a bold whisper of their craving to command tomorrow's tech horizons with envious innovation. Seed money? A laughably lean $600, $200 apiece from the founding trio, the ultimate bootstrap that screamed audacious grit. But the real ignition? A $20 million blaze from Silicon Valley sage Don Valentine and Sequoia Capital, the rocket fuel that launched this fledgling into the stratosphere. Early days, a gauntlet of gut-wrenching setbacks that would shatter lesser souls. Their 1995 NV1 chip, visionary in concept, flopped spectacularly, clashing with dominant standards like oil and water. Hot on its heels, the NV2 project snagged a tantalizing Sega Dreamcast nod, only to crash land unfulfilled. Oh, the sting of those stumbles, yet failure, merely fuel for their fire. The team emerged unbreakable, fiercer. In 1997, the Riva 128 series GPU exploded onto the scene, a runaway smash that turned heads and turned tides. The following year's GeForce 256, a seismic quake, birthing the GPU era and etching Nvidia's indelible mark on graphics dominance. By 1999's triumphant IPO, the ascent was irreversible, from GeForce 4's personal graphics conquest to delving deep into Ari's Hopper and Blackwell architectures. Nvidia's relentless architecture vanguard strategy has been their secret sword, slicing through eras with surgical precision. In Q3 2023 alone, Hopper's H100 accelerator cards flew off shelves at over 500,000 units, a record-shattering spree that redefined demand. And with Blackwell's blockbuster unveil, shipments erupted exponentially, the unbreakable backbone propping up global AI model training and inference like Atlas holding the heavens. But Nvidia's genius? Weaving a colossal ecosystem that ensnares industry titans in symbiotic splendor. From co-crafting AI fortresses with cloud colossi like Google and Microsoft, to profound pacts with OpenAI and Meta fueling frontier models, or arming Tesla and Mercedes with autonomous driving silicon sorcery, Nvidia transcends mere graphics. It's the indispensables water, electricity, and coal of the digital economy, the unseen pulse powering progress. In fiscal 2025, the computer networking juggernaut reigned supreme, devouring 89% of total revenues at an astonishing $130.5 billion, more than double the prior year's haul, with operating profits exploding to $81.4 billion, a 147% leap that leaves jaws on the floor and ledgers in awe. Today, with over 36,000 global warriors in its ranks and a patent arsenal exceeding 15,000 strong, a fortress of innovation growing ever taller, Nvidia's moat gleams impregnable, a bulwark against tomorrow's tempests, and a hidden heartbeat worth cherishing. In 1996's darkest hour, when despair loomed large, Sega of America's chairman Tom Kalinske tossed in a lifeline $5 million investment. Cooperation crumbled, but that cash cascade kept the supply chain alive, a quiet lifeline that bridged the abyss and birthed the AI overlord we hail today. There you have it, the full, exhilarating odyssey of the world's priciest 10 companies, titans that tower over our shared tomorrow. Which one etched itself deepest into your soul, leaving you breathless with wonder? Spill your thoughts in the comments below. We're dying to know. If this whirlwind of wealth and wizardry lit a spark in you, smash that like button, subscribe for more epic escapades, and share the thrill with your crew. Let's spread the awe. Thanks for joining the ride, trailblazers. Until next time, keep chasing those horizons.